YouTube. It's been a while, I know, but I just wanted to run through a video of some mindset tips to really help you lose fat, but keep it off. Because of course, you can lose fat temporarily, you can do a fad. Keeping it off is our goal. That's everybody's goal. So here are some mindset tips, some simple tips that are gonna help you. One is gonna be focusing on strength training over just doing a bunch of cardio, right? Strength training is gonna make sure that you're burning fat and building muscle, and in the long run, that's gonna make sure that your metabolism is faster and that you're gonna be leaner, right, overall, because you're gonna be, like I said, building muscle, and muscle burns more fat. Number two, another mindset tip is being patient, guys. In this world today, there's a lot of instant gratification. A lot of people want to see results tomorrow. You see results on Facebook, you see results on Instagram, you see results on TikTok, you see people on steroids, shit like that. So you just want to really get results as fast as possible. But in reality, you got to realize that it takes time to get stronger in the gym. It takes time to learn nutrition. It takes time for you to undo bad habits. It takes a long time for all of those things to happen. And it is a process, but in that process, you become the person that can lose the fat and keep it off. So that process is necessary. At the beginning of your journey, your mentality, your mindset regarding nutrition, regarding showing up, regarding pressing the snooze button, regarding almost everything is going to be different than it is towards the end of your journey, towards the latter part of your journey. You're going to develop good habits. You're going to develop mental strength, because the goal in this journey is never to make life easier or make the fitness journey easier. It's for you to get stronger mentally and physically so it can be easier, because life never gets easier. Adversity never goes away. This journey teaches you how to overcome adversity, but also how to be resilient enough to go through, push past adversity as well. Another mindset tip, right, or another tip overall of losing fat is making sure that you realize that food is fuel. A lot of us, when we're bored or when we do certain things like watch TV, we just eat food because we just think that's like what you do when you're bored, or you think that's what you do when you watch TV. But in reality, food is fuel, and those small snacking bad habits that we have, like eating when you're bored, or getting chips when you're bored, going to the cupboard, grabbing some candy when you're bored, always eating when you're watching TV, and just snacking and sitting down, all those small habits are what add the extra calories and what cause the fat gain. So eliminating those habits, but also being more aware, is going to help you a lot. Another mindset tip is being more aware overall, guys. Like, the problem with most of us is we don't like to think, especially when we get home from work. We just want to turn off our brains, so we turn on the TV so the TV can do the thinking for us, and then we just mindlessly snack, right? But being aware of those bad habits of snacking mindlessly is going to be important. Also being aware of, well, every time you go to the gas station, you might grab some candy, or every time you go to the grocery store, you might grab Snickers in the aisle, you might grab like some chips or some soda, or every time you get stressed, you might go through the drive-thru and get your favorite number 1 meal, number 2 meal, things like that. Realizing those habits and being aware is super, super important. And when you're aware and you go to the grocery store, you start looking at the back of ingredient lists, you start looking at the amount of carbs, the amount of calories in little foods that you used to get. For example, like if you always eat a bag of Takis or just eat a bag of Doritos when you go to the grocery store, like you grab it when you're getting groceries, once you become more aware and you actually look at the back of that ingredient label and the nutrition label, you'll be like, holy crap, this whole time I've been eating, 50 grams of carbs. Or if you get Skittles at the grocery store all the time, when you're leaving, you'll be like, wow, I've been eating 52 grams of sugar. No wonder I'm not losing fat, right? So those things are important. Or if when you're going into work, you always get Starbucks, you always get a Frappuccino or a mocha latte, it doesn't have the calories on there. It tastes good. It's caffeine, right? Wrong. In reality, it's upwards of 400 to 500 calories that we don't even know, and you're putting that in your body. So just being more aware of small habits that you have throughout the day will make you realize that the reason you weren't losing weight or weren't at your goals is because of you, not because of everybody else. And you'll stop putting the blame on others. Last but not least, another mindset tip, and this is one of the biggest ones for me, is focusing on what you can control, right? So if you complain, you're going to remain the same. We always hear that, right? But in reality, when you complain, you're focusing on the problem, which makes you blind to the solution, right? So complaining is not going to help you at all. So complaining about things you can't control. For example, if something happens to you, if you get in a car accident, that happened to me. If you get in a car accident, you can complain about it, but complaining about it isn't going to, undo the accident. You got to find a solution. You got to be like, okay, got in a car accident, but I still got to go to work. but I still got to work out, but I still got to get groceries, still got to get home. Let me focus on solutions. What am I going to do? So in my situation, when I got in an accident, because I remember I got in an accident and I was in the middle of my fitness journey and I had momentum, and that kind of, you know, it was kind of a big adversity at that moment. But I was like, you know what? Still got to go to work. What can I do, right? So of course you file the police report, you do all that stuff. You got to set up a date for the collision center to like fix your car, but you got to work around that. So you're going to get a rental car. But before that, you know, the upcoming days, because I had work the next day, I had to drive my busted up car to work. Then I had to drive it to the gym. Then I had to set up a date for the collision center. Once I went to the collision center, then I had to get a rental and just work around it. Because if I just focused on, you know, the negative, the problem, it wouldn't be solved, right? So focusing on what you can control, right? And another thing is you can't control your genetics. You can't speed up the fitness journey. So if you want to lose 50 pounds, just because you want to lose it really bad doesn't mean you're going to lose it in one day, right? You can control your daily habits, your weekly habits. Focus on losing, 2 pounds per week, and make sure all your daily habits actually align with that. And then over time, when you just focus on that, eventually you're going to reach your goals. Hope this helps.